Hi there, my name is Paul from the Spoke Bike Shop in Williamstown, Massachusetts. I'm going to talk to you today about buying your new bike. When you walk into a bike shop, you're faced with a zillion types of bikes and you think, how am I going to choose this? And the answer is you already know. You are the only one who knows how you're planning on using it, and that should inform what bike you buy. So the intended use is defined by the surfaces you're on and who you are as a person. The surfaces from smooth to rough could mean the difference between a road bike to a mountain bike. Who you are as a person could be a bit about how confident you are, how athletic you are, how injured you are. Those are all factors of what makes a good bike for you. You might say, I'm apprehensive about riding a bike, in which case we should make sure that you're feeling confident and stable on it. So all these are factors that you know yourself the answers, and it's up to the bike shop people to help figure out what's the best one for that. Notice I'm not going to talk about brands and what parts are good. It's really more about what works for you. The continuum of bikes that you can choose from run from road to mountain in the middle is something called a hybrid bike, which uses bits of both. Typically, the size of the wheel is from a road bike, and yet the components, the drivetrain and brakes, are from mountain bikes. Those are the happiest medium and generally the most useful bike across a broad spectrum of use. Interestingly enough, as a compromise, it is not much help if you need to do real all-the-way mountain biking or real all-the-way road biking, but it does something in between quite well. It's also very useful for casual riding, errands, commuting, recreation. The characteristics are that it's a slightly more robust bike, so it'll take more punishment than a road bike. You sit a little bit more upright on a more comfortable saddle, and the position resembles more of a mountain bike position than, say, a road bike position. They're also maybe the best deals in bikes right now. They're typically, $500, $600 and not as expensive as, say, either of the other two types of bikes. Mountain bikes have a lot of differences between themselves as a category, so you have to be careful when buying a bike here. Mountain bikes are inherently lots and lots of fun and they'll do a lot of things well. You have to be aware that there's some things that they're not good at. So if you've got to do a long stretch on pavement, don't get a mountain bike, get a hybrid or a road bike. But for real riding in the woods, they're fantastic. They're incredibly durable, they're comfortable, there's lots of gears, so you don't have to be crazy strong to ride one. The differences come down to what kind of person you are and what kind of surfaces you're on. If you're brave, if you're fit, if you're a risk taker, there's certain bikes that are going to be suited to your riding style. Even if you've never ridden in the woods or ridden on a mountain bike trail or a mountain bike park, those kind of people are going to need something with even more ability to take punishment. If your tendency is not to want to take risks, there's still mountain bikes for you. There's ones where you're putting a bigger contact of tire down on the trail so you get more grip, so you have definitely a more secure feeling for traction and braking. So the mountain bikes, again, spell out who you are and what you're on, and then you can start picking out a bike. Now let's talk about a road bike. A lot of people walk into a bike store expecting that they want to buy a road bike. As long as you know you're riding it on hard surfaces, and that doesn't mean just pavement. There's gravel and dirt roads. There's even a lot of bike paths that are just packed cinder. You need to know that the road bike's the best suited to that, but it comes in a lot of different styles. The primary differences are going to be the tire. So how round the tire is and its volume is going to determine how soft a surface you can be on and how much traction you're going to get. The modern day racing bike is designed to be as efficient as it can be on smoother surfaces. So be prepared that it's not going to work well if you're off-road. Of all the things that you spend your money on a road bike, the thing that matters the most is the fit. It's no point in getting the latest whiz-bang something if you personally are uncomfortable on it. Fits are usually divided into the ergonomic and the comfortable. So what can we do to allow you to put your power out on the bike and remain comfortable on it? So of all the things you spend money on, a fit might be the most important on a road bike. It's a little less important on the other types of bikes. The other big thing is price expectations. There are road bikes below $1,000. They're usually not worth spending the money on. If you buy a road bike below $1,000, get a used one, something that might have originally sold for more than $1,000. Last of all, again, know how you're going to use it. So a bicycle tour is a totally different thing from, say, a bicycle race. So what some people call a touring bike, we mean you're going to go on a trip somewhere. You might do point to point. You're going to go riding long distances. So a touring bike, a century bike, a commuting bike, That's a slightly different category of bike than something that you might use for your first triathlon or just as a fitness bike. So know yourself, know what fits comfortably for you, get the bike fit, and know what surfaces you're on. You'll be able to make a good selection on a road bike. In conclusion, what you're looking for is a strange combination of fit to you individually from a production bike. So be prepared to ask people to change things. If the saddle that comes on the thing is no good for you, don't take it out the door. If the reach feels too far, don't take it out the door. Get that to be changed. You can make the bike fit you comfortably. Critical lesson in all of this, which is balancing the aspirational to the real. If you know that you're a certain personality and that you'll be, good about the intended use, you're going to do better than if you think, I'm going to be a bike racer someday. It's like the someday might be too far off and you could have wasted a lot of fun riding miles by buying something that's not appropriate for your immediate use. So be prepared to be realistic about what works for you. And especially if you say, I want something for really smooth roads, and yet you live at the end of 3 miles of dirt road, you got to get something that works on the dirt road well. Well, thanks a lot for watching our videos. Really appreciate it. We'll post new ones here, and you can subscribe here. And there's an old bike saying which says, may the wind be at your back and the glass on the other side of the road. Cheers.